Hi, how you doing? This is John. Hey, I've been talking about Joe Biden in a sort of derogatory way, and it hasn't been. I'm not supposed to do that. It has. Come here, sweetie. It hasn't been very kind, and I have tried not to be personal. Because really, it's sad, and everybody knows it, and everybody's saying it. It's elder abuse, and that's really what's going on. The Democratic machine would clearly rather have Donald Trump than have Bernie Sanders. What's happening is internecine conflict between the Democrats is not internecine at all. Both wings will survive. But what I think you'll have is a Dexit. That's Democratic exit, Dexit. We're going to call that Dexit from the party, and the liberal wing will become more motivated. That's for sure. Probably lose some members, but gain some as well. Because the new generation, the younger generation, from what I've seen, is very angry. And I just woke up. It's kind of bright out here. Oof, God. Anyway. That next generation is very angry, and they'll basically not only foment, but they will, in doing so, will insist upon a revolution within the Democratic Party and a split. Now, what will that do? This Dexit, I think what it'll do is it'll just shift the Democratic Party to the left. The Dexit, I don't think it'll be a higher level situation, more of an electorate type of thing that'll become apparent after the re-election of Donald Trump. Because I do not think somebody like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who you got to respect her vigor. I don't agree with her at all, but got to respect how she came up, and she's really a great American story in a lot of ways. I hate to say that, but that is the truth. At any rate, as far as this Democratic exit, that'll be at a lower level, and it'll be more of an analytical thing that they may talk about on MSNBC, I guarantee it. But it won't minimize the strength. The Democratic establishment is very strong. And now they're willing to push somebody who, just look at, I'm asking all American voters, African American voters, Obama really didn't have your back. Oh, and Joe Biden certainly didn't have his back. What he exhibited was what we should call political blackfacing. That's political blackfacing. Coattailing it on the popularity, vigor, energy, and electability of an African American frontrunner. That's what he did. And, that he has the African American vote, I think, and that they say he does, and it's a granted thing, I think is an insult to African Americans. I'm insulted, and what do we call me, a European American or something like that? I have a lot of Jewish blood in me, apparently. My daughter has a little bit, and I haven't got the gene test yet, but I think it comes from anyway. But I notice always at funerals, we wouldn't sit Shiva, we'd sit Shivas, and we enjoyed that, but that was our way of, elevating whoever had died. But that's not important now. The important thing is Joe Biden really needs to be protected from his managers. I'm just putting out a plea. It's out there by greater minds than me, and certainly greater communicators than me. But YouTube's kind of fun, and I enjoy doing this. So I'll have it later when I'm really old. I'm not as old as I look. And actually, I think I'll go out and do something today. Anyway, the other thing, so we have 2 terms now. We have our first term will be Dexit, the Democratic exit from the party, and that'll be on a lower level, more of a grassroots exit from the party. Why do you say that? Well, because basically what we have is people on the left have accumulated significant power, and I would doubt that they would relinquish that power in the name of a cause that will not gain access to the general electorate. In other words, the socialism thing is going to be a stigma now, and it's going to put a black mark, a scarlet letter, even on the progressive wing of the Democratic Party. And that may hurt them in terms of their political ambitions, and that'll be the result. If Trump wins, the left will be empowered, and they will, and when I say left, I mean the progressives, they will gain control of the party and fundamentally change the country. But remember, there's nothing in the Constitution that precludes socialism. So to say it's anti-American is just antithetical to what the Constitution actually says, and certainly contrary to the feelings of Thomas Jefferson, at least. Go back to Thaddeus Stevens. What did he want more than socialism in his Reconstruction plan of the conquered people? He was basically going to turn the South into a socialist paradise. So it's not a new idea. And really, you can't argue it from the perspective of it's anti-American. It may be anti-American in spirit, but you have to go how it's anti-American in that it'll put people down. That has to be the central argument, is the authoritarian aspect. You can't really attack it with a weapon that has no bullets, and that would be the Constitution. At any rate, so we have Dexit, and in political blackfacing, Joe Biden is guilty of blackface. And we'll call it political blackfacing, because now he takes the African American vote for granted. That's really not cool. And let's call it out for what it is. Okay, goodbye.